All right. Welcome to episode 625 of the Black Brain Trust. This is Black Cannabis Talk, Black Cannabis Blockchain and Crypto, C-Vid 19, and the Golden Gate Strain Review. Give you guys a few minutes to come on in. And while you guys make your way on in, if you like topics like cannabis and stuff like that, feel free to hit the like button and share it with some other folks that are pro-cannabis, pro-hemp, pro-industrial application, all that. Well, give me just a second. Just rock out for a minute. I'm just pulling something else up here I wanted to share. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's do this here. Let me, I'm gonna do this. I'll go ahead and post this first and then I'll update the description. So just a quick history, man. But Cannabis Talks started on, I guess you could say there's two precursors to the Brain Trust. It was the channel that myself and Anti-Gravity ran, Business, Wealth, and Power. And then this channel here that Lionel and Mike V started, which when we combine the two, hold on one second. When we combine the two, it kind of became the Black Brain Trust. Okay. But on that Business, Wealth, and Power channel, what we were doing was we were doing cannabis talks. Okay. So what I want to do is just do this real quick before we get started. As I would say. Okay, that right there is a playlist to the cannabis talks that we had started on the Business Wealth Power channel back in sometime in 2017, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I don't recall. It was a while ago. But anyway, that is the precursor to these conversations here, because part of what we're going to be talking about here today links back to what we started there. I just need to put things on the record, right? But I want you guys to just make sure that that's there. And then with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So give me just a moment. I hope you guys don't mind a little bit of roots, raga roots. I told you I got a DJ background, man. So, I do my thing. Well, real quick, let me see who's here. Sir Abadai, what's going on, bro? Peace. Born Eternal Lord Allah, what's going on, G? Peace. Welcome, man. I'm glad you could join us for this conversation, fam. Let's do this. All right. This is from SILive.com. Researchers, THC and marijuana may treat COVID-19 complications. Now, there's a couple of other live streams that we did with regards to links to hemp and cannabis being an effective treatment or effective method of preventing contraction of COVID-19. So we're going to go ahead and read from this article here. The chemical in marijuana that makes people high may be effective in treating a potentially lethal coronavirus complication, researchers at the University of South Carolina recently announced. The researchers quoted studies co-published by Prakash Nagarkati, which found that the chemical THC, the most mind-altering chemical in marijuana, prevented a harmful immune response that causes acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS, in mice, and caused a significant increase in healthy lung bacteria. Now, it's funny because they tell you that smoking is bad for you, but I digress. Give me a second. Little volume just a little higher. All right, there we go. Yeah, isn't that funny? They tell you smoking is bad for you, but then they also tell you that the THC in weed is good for preventing a harmful immune response that causes acute respiratory distress syndrome. Make it make sense. 3 studies published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, the British Journal of Pharmacology, and the International Journal of Molecular Sciences were conducted by giving mice a toxin that triggered the harmful immune reaction that causes ARDS, and then injecting the mice with some THC. According to the study's abstracts, as reported in The State, this daily student newspaper at the University of South Carolina. With ARDS, the underlying mechanism is your immune system goes haywire and starts destroying your lungs and all your other organs. Nagarkati told The State. Dozens of experiments were conducted in the 3 separate studies, and 100% of the mice given THC survived. 100%. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I had to have a hearty chuckle. 100%. So all the rats on weed were good. While many differences between mice and humans mean lab results in mice don't always directly translate into real life results for humans, Nagarkati said he was blown away at the effectiveness of THC in treating ARDS. It's funny, they say that, but I don't know how many years they've been testing on rats to justify some shit working on humans, but all of a sudden they're sitting there saying, well, there's many differences, but I'm blown away by the fact that weed works on rats. Yeah, because every mammal, including humans, has an endocannabinoid system. But I digress. There is no FDA approved drug right now to treat ARDS, Nagarkati said. Nagarkati has recommended that health officials begin human trials with THC. Well, in California, we've been undertaking our own human trials here since since I can remember. However, he said that doesn't mean it's a good idea for people to smoke marijuana if they think they have coronavirus. He tells you THC is good, right, for rats, but he says don't smoke it though. Since THC suppresses the immune response, that wasn't the case in the rats. Smoking marijuana recreationally can actually make coronavirus infection worse. Ain't that some shit? Okay, what if you eat it? See, you guys, you got to read through the double speak here. 100% of the mice, mammals have endocannabinoid systems. They ingested THC, but he's saying don't smoke it. Oh, because, okay, well, eat it then. Fine. Hold on one second. Let's see. Vernon King, yo, peace. Hey, Engineering Cannabis, peace. What's going on? All right. So, next article. Blockchain and cannabis. Let me do this here. Perhaps engineering cannabis may want to join me for this one. Blockchain and cannabis, how blockchain improves quality, authenticity, and traceability. Blockchain is making headway in the cannabis industry by improving consumers' and suppliers' trust. Characterized by a distributed ledger system that stores data blockchain, it helps trace cannabis products from seed to consumption, maintain product quality and authenticity, and create a foundation for further technology to centralize data. Although Health Canada currently requires all cannabis companies to have a seed to sell ERP system, which is technology that tracks where the strain came from to provide consumers with a safe and legal product, cannabis consumers may still have doubts that the product they've chosen is actually the product they're getting, i.e., the strain that they claim to be selling you. Now, a connoisseur such as myself, for example, if I go in and say, "Hey, I want some purple Kush," right, or some Granddaddy Perp, I should say, specifically because Granddaddy Perp has a very distinct scent, okay, and it has a look, okay. So oftentimes, what's happening here is that you'll have growers who are growing maybe some sort of cross variant of it to give it the taste profile or something close to it. And then they have these terpene extracts that they then sort of fertilize the plant with to then give it the floral scent. Now, when we do the strain review for the Golden Gate strain, which is what I got today, we'll go over all of this. But this is where we're talking about this right here, where there's a problem with authenticity, because there's ways to trick the consumer into thinking that they're getting they're buying something that they're actually not. Okay, so for example, Granddaddy Perp. If it's not purple, it's not Granddaddy Perp. It's probably crossed with Granddaddy Perp. Okay, which is a lot easier to get than an actual Granddaddy Perp plant, because purple strains are basically a commodity at this point. Okay, me and my bro Kev's my music partner, my little bro, my homeboy. That was what we did when we made music, man. We Perps was the shit, right? And when you got your nugs, they were purple. Nowadays, you're buying purple Urkel, you're buying God's Gift, you're buying Granddaddy Perp, and when you go in there, the shit's green with a little bit of purple in it. Okay? This right here would be a good way of authenticating your strains. This is where blockchain becomes useful. With a digitized data system, it helps determine the product's authenticity, quality, and traceability. Blockchain gives consumers the ability to track product truly from seed to consumption, so they can see where it was acquired, grown, packaged, shipped, and actually consumed by the end user. Give me a second. There he is. Hold on a second.
What's up, man?
Hey, hold on 1 second. I figured out the trick here. So every time I bring somebody on, I got to do what I just did. Okay. How you doing, sir?
I'm great.
All right. Sound all good? We all good?
We're good.
All right. Okay. So, currently, the cannabis industry lacks a central database for strains. The product testing is done by licensed producers, LPs, but consumers and suppliers have little access to the data. Blockchain creates infrastructure to unify this information and allows further technology to be created where LPs can upload data for consumers and suppliers, easy consumption, increasing their confidence in the strains.
I talked about this technology. If you go
Mm-hmm.
back to your in the libraries, I talked about exactly what they're implementing. I
Mm-hmm.
detailed it down to where how everything is going to work and how blockchain is going to basically help in verifying strain, in verifying contamination, in verifying traceability of not only your plant but also safety of your plant. So the blockchain, again, it's going to be a federally mandated program where every seed or every every seed you sell, it basically is going to be implemented in the lab side.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm almost thinking the genetic profile level.
It's going to be in the lab side where
Yeah.
once the testing is done and you have your contaminants and everything, that testing will automatically go into a blockchain with your
Right.
company name in it. And so once it's there, so now once it's tagged, now you can go to when you go into a store to buy your cannabis and you scan it automatically, that information pops up and says, okay, this is where you bought it, this is where it is, this is where it's from. At that point, it's a trustworthy system. If you scan it and nothing pops up, you know that is a black market
Bogus.
bogus strain.
Yeah.
So that is basically don't buy it. So again, remember where we had that problem with when cannabis was basically tainted and contaminated and people were dying
Mm-hmm.
based on this is what blockchain does. It helps with the safety side. It also helps with the compliance, helps with traceability. So now if someone smokes a joint that has a high THC content but the label shows that this content is THC, we can trace back to it and say there's something wrong in this. So there's a traceability aspect into it. So this is what blockchain. This I talked about it like a year ago. This is what is going to be implemented.
Well, we're
And
gonna
this
go
is
in. Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna go into it a bit more. I have another article after this one, and then we're gonna actually we're gonna dig into crypto slate, and we're gonna dig a little deeper into it.
yeah.
Let's see here. Although blockchain is in its early stages in the cannabis industry, its ability to track products across the supply chain is improving the entire process. For cannabis suppliers, blockchain's insight into where the product came from, which you were just saying, helps them better source strains and understand why some products are successful and why some aren't.
Data. Got more
Yes.
data.
Yes.
Traceability, data.
Well, here we
So
go. Here we go.
this is
The ability to trace products is a major asset as it allows suppliers and producers alike to more accurately predict demand. It also gives insight into where products were consumed and why they are or are not selling on the business to business, business to consumer. Ha! We were just talking about that on the phone. Anyway, retail and online levels. For consumers, blockchain provides more knowledge about their products and it mitigates concerns about where they came from. For
the
example, cannabis consumers can scan the product code
exact. Remember when I
on
laid
an
this out?
app to immediately get information about that specific
I
strain.
mean,
As you were saying?
I mean, remember when I told you I designed this system the last year when I designed this system on this channel? I designed it step by step on how this is going to work,
Mm-hmm.
and exactly this is how it's going to happen. So again, but that was the last time I was going to go out and speak on my designs anymore. But
Yeah. Well,
this
no,
is how
this is now more confirmation, right?
confirmation of I basically last year I gave it the step by step design on how this is going to work, and exactly the way I said it, exactly is the way it's going to be implemented. And again, it's going to be implemented in the federal level itself.
Well, let's take a look here. Suppliers are beginning to recognize the importance of tracing products and centralizing data, and consumers are seeking more information on their cannabis strains. These two factors alone can increase the likelihood of blockchain becoming widely adopted by cannabis companies and potentially even becoming a prerequisite infrastructure. What were
Yep.
you just saying on the federal level?
Level. This is it. I'm telling you.
Oh
There are a
my
lot of there are a
God,
lot
dude,
of
you're
design.
too accurate, bro.
So this is what I said. This is exactly what's going to happen, step by step. I gave that design out. Say here, this is the design. This is what's going to happen, step by step. This is how it's going to be adopted, and this
Yeah,
is how it's going to. And again, the companies are looking at it and like, okay, this is where it's going to go, and it wasn't go back and you see the design when I laid it out exactly what I said.
dude, you're a little too accurate right now for my liking. Actually, no. Well, I shouldn't say that for my liking. It's actually to my liking, but it's in public.
No, the
But, but
public
but then
stuff.
actually, then again, let me take that back. That's actually a good thing because it validates everything we've been saying about this damn industry this whole time, right?
Yeah, But again, some of my designs I've
But
seen.
yeah,
Yeah, I got to keep some of my designs to
yeah.
myself.
Now
Yeah.
it's like, shh. Hey,
Can
we
I
got
Yeah, I
can I
got.
say
what's up?
something? Okay.
Yeah,
I have a bunch of patents, and maybe we need to sit down, engineering cannabis, and you protect your intellectual property.
yeah. I need to start.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
have
need.
expertise in this. Okay.
Well,
The
this
other
is the
thing was
reason why
about
we're
this.
purposely not saying what we've been talking about on the phone.
No,
Let's just put it
I
like
agree, but
that.
I was going to say, on what blockchain are you envisioning this your tracking thing? Are you going to do it on Cardano, or are you going to do it on the Ethereum?
I'm gonna
Because
design. No, I'm gonna design it on my own. Use Python and
no,
design it.
no, 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 no. It's not that. I mean, okay, they on the
They have.
blockchain. Wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
On the blockchain, there's a you got to give customers the ability with smart contracts, so they can look and say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy this, but I need to track where it's coming from, how it's thing, and then a way of verifying that is what it is.
Yeah.
You have the technology to verify the strain, but I'm saying
Mhm.
I'm looking at it from a system engineering type thing,
Okay. In terms of
and
the.
from yeah, so
Yeah.
from the outside on how we can
It's
utilize this with a smart contracts, so you can
Ethereum.
get paid for it. No, Cardano is another. Remember the guys
Yeah.
who invented uh, Ethereum moved to Cardano, and if we can get that on the ground floor, because Cardano was cents a minute ago, and now it's like 31 cents. If we can get
Mm.
on a
No,
ground
no.
floor of that,
Yes, sir.
we not only get all the new players in the industry, but we also get the actual tokens. We can talk about it
Yeah.
offline.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, I just been busy because a lot of people been out for COVID, and I've been having, and then we had the solar winds thing that's been like, it's
Yeah.
been a
Mm.
nightmare. But
Well,
I'm just, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was gonna say what we could do is I'll go over. Well, I got this article here, and then the next thing we're gonna tap into actually we're gonna dig into the crypto and blockchain side of things. That was why I initially posted the link. I'm going to show you what it is that we used to do about 3 going on 4 years ago on the Business Wealth Power channel, which is kind of like I said, there was two channels that preceded this one. They actually merged to
Mhm.
create this one. But we'll show you what we used to do to kind of analyze that aspect of the cannabis industry, the blockchain and cryptocurrency side. So this is from Denver Post. Blockchain and marijuana plays lead Colorado stock index to double-digit gains in 2020.
I disagree with that one a
Well,
little bit.
let me read the article first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah,
Okay. Colorado stocks led by a blockchain company and a grow house supplier managed to outperform two of the three major U.S. stock indices despite having a heavy concentration of energy firms. The Bloomberg Colorado Index, a price-weighted basket of 58 companies based in the state. So before you say that, just understand that this is based on companies in the state of Colorado, rose
okay.
25.1% on the year, surpassing 7.2% return on the Dow Jones Industrial Average and 16.2% return on the SP 500, but lagging 43.6% gain on the NASDAQ Composite. Annus horribilis, the Latin term for a horrible year, a pandemic, stock market crash, racial tensions, wildfires, and a most contentious presidential election. It could not have been any worse, said Fred Taylor, president of North Star Investment Advisors in Denver. But the biggest surprise, one few could have predicted on March 24th, was when the SP 500 was down 37%, was the markets would hit record highs and reward investors with significant returns, Taylor said. In
Mhm.
my view, one reason for this lightning speed recovery was that unlike other market crises, it was easier for investors to understand what was going on and imagine how it might end. We all knew exactly what was causing the crisis, a pathogen, and what it would take to end it, a vaccine. Said Tom Nunn, portfolio strategist for Great West Investments, the management unit of Empower Retirement. Technology stocks had the strongest gains nationally, but wasn't the case in Colorado, where they were mostly absent, with the notable exception of Maxar Technologies. Shares of Riot Blockchain, a Castle Rock company, were the state's top performer last year, moving from $1.02 to $16.99. The holding company rode the renewed interest in cryptocurrencies to a 1,417% gain on the year. It was also a top performer in 2017 before undergoing SEC investigation, which was later dropped. The next best performer was Grow Generation, a Denver-based supplier of hydroponic equipment that rose 881%. Its shares surged because of timely acquisitions, a renewed interest in horticulture, and expectations that incoming Biden administration would decriminalize marijuana nationally. Oh, there we go. We're hedging. Liberty TripAdvisor, which owns about a quarter of the shares of TripAdvisor, had the third best performing stock, up 305.9% on the year, which was remarkable given how roughly investors treated travel companies in 2020. Shares of TripAdvisor, an online travel and booking site, were cut in half at the end of the year, down 5.3%, but only after good news on vaccines in November drove hopes of a rebound in travel. Let's see. I think this is going over extraction of gas and oil. Yeah. So in the state of Colorado, we have to preface this. Okay. So we're looking at the state economy. What industries are booming? Okay. What industries?
I'm gonna let him finish before I speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say what industries, and we're looking at just as Colorado in particular, because right now we don't have a national mandate. Okay. But what we do have is a collection of state mandates. We also have a national majority in terms of a national mandate. That means the majority of the states do have some sort of legalization measure on the books. Now,
the MORE Act that's passed, and the Senate is going to pass now. Believe me,
there's more states. Wait, hold on. There's more states in this country that have a legal measure on the books with regards to either medical cannabis or recreational. Either
I
one.
agree with
there
that.
But no, well, there's that's a fact. So with
I agree with that.
Right. So with that being said, here's how I'm prefacing all of this. We are looking at the impact that it has on the state level in terms of the impact on industry. Now, Colorado being the first to legalize recreationally, okay? Right. We're looking at the growth. This is just in the state of Colorado. Go ahead.
Okay. Riot is not in Colorado. Riot is a company that does mining. So therefore, to compare, it's like oranges and apples. You can't compare it because Riot, I can see if Riot was doing the mining squarely in Colorado, I can say yes, but it's not. It's getting its.
Are they based in Colorado?
No. Riot has various mining facilities all over the place. Okay. So remember, wait. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Riot is actually mining the coins that's going to be used. So it's kind of like trying to mix apples and oranges. The other ones, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not, but I know what Riot does. They are a fund that puts together money to for these guys to mine coins, and I think that's what mixes the thing. I'm not debating. You're correct that there may have been have outperformed.
Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. They're actually based in Castle Rock, Colorado.
No, but not all Riot's whole facilities are based in Colorado.
Yeah, that's where they're based out of. They're based out of their headquarters are in Castle Rock, Colorado.
Well, let me. So you're talking about the mining of coin, the mining of
no. Go ahead.
This is the marijuana itself. It's not the mining of coin. This is the selling of the cannabis in Colorado. Colorado's
Okay, but
economy
that's
is
not what he
based on.
said.
No, 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 no. Okay,
Maybe that's what I'm
we,
trying to get an understanding.
okay, okay. Well, if you're trying to get an understanding, then ask the questions, right?
Okay,
Like because
what
when
is
I'm trying to, because no, because look right here. That's why I was like, no, they're. I already knew this. Their headquarters are in Castle Rock, Colorado. Colorado.
okay?
Now that does not mean that what they don't do is then contract out to other places. Do you want to know why, for example, they would go to a place like North Dakota, something like that,
That's
to
what I
set
was.
up a
That's
mining
my point.
to set up a mining facility?
Yeah, that's my point.
No,
And
I'm saying, do you know why they would go there to do it?
oh yeah, because it's cheaper energy costs and anything because mining is an energy
Okay, that
intensive.
does not negate the fact though that they are headquartered in Colorado. They are a Colorado
Oh no, I
company.
never said no.
Okay, so let's go back to why I was prefacing this. That's why I don't want to go down
Okay.
that I don't want to go down that slippery slope. They were talking about the industries based in Colorado and the impact that blockchain based companies that are doing business in the cannabis sphere are having on the Colorado state industrial economy. That's why I said, okay, well, this isn't a national mandate,
Okay.
right? So we got
Maybe
to,
I misunderstood you. Okay.
well, it's from the Denver Post. That's why I was like, this is about Colorado,
Okay. Yeah. All right. I can't speak
right?
about Colorado. I'm
What
not in
that
Colorado.
no, that's what. So this is more of like, okay, we're focusing in on a state that one is already recreational, okay, and
Yeah.
two has the infrastructure in place to have listings on like the SP 500, Nasdaq index, and all that shit, and then has the ability to contract out. See, they're in a part of the industry that is autoimmune to cannabis regulation. Let's just say,
Hmm. Yeah.
okay.
And I'm in the worst state.
Well, no, but see, we're talking blockchain. We're talking
No,
technology at this
I'm in the
point.
what? I'm trying to get. I'm in New York State
I
where
know,
I'm
but
in
see,
the
if you're
worst
doing
state.
blockchain and stuff like that, that's there. Depending on what you're doing. So, for example, it's right now it's illegal to transact state to state in terms of
Exactly.
cannabis, right? But
Yep.
you'll notice that Riot blockchain has operations in another state, right?
Correct. But I'm
Okay,
trying to
the
give you
reason,
the
the reason, the
additional
and
thing that
the reason being is that because that sector of the industry is autoimmune to the transactional nature of U.S. currency, right, printed by the Fed, going from one state across the border into another state. They're ahead of the
yeah,
game.
and I totally agree. I'm just saying that my state where I live in New York State, I can't even buy Cardano. I can't even buy a lot of the different blockchain uh, um, uh, coins because of the state regulations. That's all I'm saying. It's state by state.
Well, that's again, that's why I prefaced this. That's why I said,
Yeah,
okay, well, there's no
it's
national
crazy.
mandate. There's no national mandate. So you have some states that are only legal with regards to medicinal, and even with regards to that, it's very tight in terms of the regulations. Some
Yeah,
states are
that
loose.
down
Some
south.
states have recreational. Go ahead, drinking cannabis.
Yeah, down south. Even with the medical, you still don't play. They don't play with that.
Yeah.
Their rules are as tight as nah, even for licensing for
Well,
medical. It's
you have
bad.
one advantage. They're not stopping you from buying the actual coins. In New York State, they're
Yeah,
actually they're actually stopping you. You can't even uh, buy the actual entities like
yeah,
Cardano, all these other ones. I can't buy in New York
yeah.
State.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
No.
I won't lie
Yeah,
to you.
but
I'm not in the crypto. I'm
right.
I'm into the
Well,
technology. Not
well,
into the
I'm in
crypto.
the both. I'm in the both.
The technology,
Right.
yes. Crypto, I normally stay out of what I can mathematically predict, but the technology, I love the technology. I will tell you everything about the
Yeah.
technology, but the crypto, I stay away from that. Me
Well,
myself,
the ones that I bought are the ones that have smart contracts
yeah,
because that's the legal entities that you can track and
yeah,
use to pay off. And the ones to do like the stored value, like Bitcoin, I
yeah,
agree. I'm kind of like hands off on that. But the ones where, because I want to do transactions in other countries like Stella and XRP. I'm into those because I want to be able to send money and get that
Yeah,
transferred that day within an hour
that
to
blockchain.
those
That
other.
yeah, that review. But again, the technology is sound, and with the cannabis, as Complex stated, we just had Georgia vote 2 Democrats in.
Yep.
That's a big sign. That's on, and we have the more act in the
Could
legislation.
you make that bigger? Was it-
You can't see it. Oh
yeah,
wait,
I can't see it. It's too
hold on one
small for
second.
me. You know,
So
I'm getting old, man. My eyes are not what they used to be.
we have the more act in legislation. It's going to go into the Senate. Now we have again Democrat, and we have some Republican states who also believe in medical and recreational
Hold on one second here.
Yeah.
cannabis. So there's a likelihood, I'm not sure yet, but there's a huge likelihood there's going to be a federal mandate
Well,
on
you have
cannabis.
relatives in Nigeria, correct?
Yeah, I visit.
Yeah,
I go there.
yeah. I would be that
No,
Cardano and XRP. No, I'm not saying you can do it or you
no, I
won't do
know.
it,
Well, here's the
but I'm
thing,
just
man.
saying.
Here's the thing. Okay, before you do that, you got to understand how token system how the ecosystem works.
Oh, I know how it works. I'm just.
Well,
We were
okay.
just.
So do you? Okay. So in looking at, so this is what this is. These are the okay. This is from Crypto Slate. So earlier when I posted the link to the Business Wealth Power channel, okay,
Mhm.
this is where anti-gravity and I started doing analysis on the crypto sector with regards to cannabis. This is going back to late 2016, 2017. Okay.
Mhm.
So for example, we got to look at things like Potcoin, how these ecosystems work. It's not just a straightforward, like, well, I buy this coin, I do this, and then I exchange it, and then I do this. It's okay. There's an ecosystem involved. So for example, Potcoin has its own blockchain.
Agreed,
Okay.
and that's what, and we agreed with that. That's not what I was talking about. Maybe you might not understand. I was just saying, in general, I was looking at how you. Okay, you might have other people or other entities that have the. You want to be able to get them the ability to get currency. Pot coin, Buffalo, Hep coin, and all that are specifically tied to cannabis. I was just mentioning generalized coins that are used for smart contract. You can say, I bought 500 pounds of cannabis and a smart contract. I can trace now that contract and every little bit of that thing in the smart thing. I don't know any of the coins that you specify that has smart contracts. Maybe I don't know.
Well, no. Here's
No,
what we'll
that's
do.
but that's blockchain itself.
Yeah, here
No,
we
but
Traceability.
go. Here
it's
we
a
go.
different.
Hold on, It's right here. The blockchain explorer is right here for Potcoin, for example.
Okay.
This is the stuff that we used to do. This is why I'm referencing back to what we were doing some years ago because everything's on an open ledger, right?
Yep.
Here's the ledger. So if you want to explore, this is what's great about Crypto Slate. Okay, so for the coins that it does report on, you can look at the transactions. You can look everything's on the ledger. It's here. I mean, and then I'm even looking at just at the activity. Okay,
Uh-huh.
we've had a lot of transactions here just in the last hour,
Oh yeah.
right? You know what I mean. And these are from various various wallets, 2 transactions here, 3 transactions here. It'll show the last 100 blocks. I mean, so my whole point in bringing this up, right? My whole point in bringing this up is that knowledge is power. Okay, and rather than kind of go on just I don't I when I know that it's here at my fingertips, then
Uh-huh.
what it requires is the digging into the data at this point, understanding how each various token, each coin, how it's going to work. There may be something that already works for your application, but this stuff's already pre-existing. This is my whole point in bringing it up. I want to look at a lot of the activity that's going on, particularly in the cannabis coin sector, because cryptocurrencies as a whole are on a run, right? It's a bull market, okay? And that's even evidenced by look at what we've got in terms of we're on the 7 day change. We're up
moving average. Yeah.
we're about 0.5% on pot coin. Bud Bow is up damn near 3%. Cannabis coin 15.5%. Dope coin damn near 35%. Cannonation damn near 100%. I'm just saying. I'm just, yeah, right.
No, I'm laughing at the names.
Yeah, the names. But what I'm saying is that there's tools available that have been reporting and gathering data on this sector for quite some time. The blockchain ledgers are available to review all of the transactions that are going on, so that you could actually see what's the amount of the type of transactions on average, let's just say, that's being conducted within a given ecosystem. Potcoin has a market cap of $2.95 million. So that means that that's pretty much within that ecosystem. That's pretty much what it's holding, right? The 24-hour volume in terms of transactions, damn near $4,000. Okay. We're looking at a little over a penny. Okay. I mean, the tools are here, right? And then it's for you to go into each one of these. Hemp coin is down. Tokes is down. I mean, geez, look at the volume on that, though. Look at that.
That's
is that a pump and dump? That looks like a pump and dump, man. Maybe.
And I think I don't want people to get me wrong. I'm just saying that if you want to use contractual things, the other coins are a better mechanism for you to track the individual cannabis. I agree. This is the better option. That's all I'm saying.
Well, then that's the reason why what we have to start to do is we have to look at the subsectors. It's much like the global. So, okay, look at the global currency markets. You have, petrodollars, you have electrodollars, you have all these subsets of currencies within a given basket of currencies.
So my question to everybody, has anybody seen, with all these coins, who are the CEOs or the people behind it?
All of the information. That this is the whole thing. This is why I provided the source. It's in the link. The website's here. The source code's here. Some of them have white papers. The blockchain explorers there. It's all here. It's like
Coin Marketplace has the same thing for the
right. So, but this is particular on CryptoSlate. This is particular to the cannabis coin sector. So when we're saying this is a cannabis live stream, if you want to get that information, it's here. Right. It's all here.
And to answer engineering cannabis, okay, I look at, but when I do an analysis of a coin, I also look at the actual papers they put in, the white papers as complex also, and their background in the industry. Before then I look at what the position is that I will take. I have various positions in coins, but my position is based on the background of the people, who there are, and the amount of coins that's in circulation.
Yeah, I mean the website's here. You can get further insights here. Blockchain Explorers here. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Bitcoin Talk, Instagram, Slack.
You go to Coin Market, so you can see what I'm talking about. Coin Marketplace. So you can see it's just a generalized view of all the coins. That's not all the coins, but the ones that's in general. Yeah, Coin Marketplace. I can hold on. If you can't get it, I will put it in the chat.
That's right here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I was on Bernard Riley's show because Linnell was on the show, which I really like talking to him. Yeah, and he gave and you were there today too, weren't you?
I was just listening, man. I had stuff I had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I look at this one because if you see, it shows the overall value, the volume of the coins,
Hmm.
and if you look at the volume of the coins, the uh, the Bitcoin is stagnant because basically there's it's hold on, you just cut it off.
Wait, Bitcoin was
Yeah,
up here.
yeah. I was just saying if you look at Bitcoin, it's now. But if you look at the other coins, pot coins are nowhere near in the first 100 and the first 100 ones.
No,
And
they're not because again, they're
specialized. That's what I'm saying.
right, right.
Right. And I'm just trying to tell you, if you're going to do smart contracts with that, uh, I think I'm hearing somebody. Is somebody joined?
Yeah,
It's
somebody joined. Hold on one second. Wait, and
okay.
that's Mike. Hold on, I got to do this. I figured out. I figured out the hack.
Okay, no
There,
problem.
there's the hack right there. What's going on, y'all? Mike V.
Hey, peace to the panel, peace to the
Yo,
chat.
yo.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Jay, you there?
Yep. How's it going?
Okay. What's going on, y'all? Hey, what y'all got on it, man?
I'm just now coming into, so I don't even know where you're at right now.
Okay. We
Okay.
we're just
I
we're just talking the blockchain and crypto sector. Go ahead, Jay. You got it.
oh no, I just wanted to say that I bet most of those pot coins are ERC20 tokens, anyways,
That's
and
what I
they
was gonna say. The one
write
that I
smart
bought
contracts
into, yeah, the
on the
one I
Ethereum
bought
blockchain.
into back in 2017 is Paragon. It's ERC20.
Yeah, so most of these altcoins you can write smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain.
Right.
And by the way,
And
you can write smart contracts with Bitcoin.
right, but
You can
it's
use
really
like an open source software like Particle, which is kind of token agnostic.
r- and that's fine. But I looked at Cardano. I'm not and this. Hold on. Let me make this clear. I'm not trying to tell people that this is not a, a thing. I looked at this Cardano because the people who invented Ethereum went to Cardano and they created Cardano. I like Cardano because it looks like it has all the advantages of Ethereum and more things. That's all. So when I say these things, so I understand that there's hacks to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has a limited amount of volume based on the amount of coins that's already lost and the ones, and they have a large ask or bid ask how do you say bid ask profit ratio from big industrialized investors. So you look at the thing and say like, for small investors, like if you look at Grayscale, they don't take you into those things unless you're a accredited investor. You know, so you got to look at it like from a small investor standpoint. That's all. I'm just trying to tell you that this you got to look at it from a more generalized situation. That's all I do, and I'll shut up.
Yeah, that's true. I think. Well, I actually think the main issue with Bitcoin is that it's just expensive to send. Like sending Bitcoin costs like $15 when the price is high. That's not really practical um, for a high
Yeah,
volume
the
of transactions.
exchanges are making more money than you are.
Well, no, miners, not the exchanges.
Well, well, no, because no, they're both making money because the exchanges are making that intermediate price, whether
Oh no,
you
no. But
buy or
what I'm
sell.
saying is the exchange is not getting the bulk of that $15. That most of that goes to the miners. The exchange
Really?
gets like 0.01%. Yeah, that's a mining fee.
Well, well, no, well, okay. I kind of like we can discuss this offline, but I think that you remember the miners are making the fee when they mine it, and a lot of them are selling it on before they even hit the exchange. That's what I'm trying to say. But we can discuss that in a different context.
But yeah, I told you guys a while ago. I was working on a smart contract in Ethereum. There are so many safety issues with the Ethereum blockchain, and because I'm not really a coder, I don't have the experience. Sometimes I
Uh-huh.
get a little bit worried about my smart contract going live.
They didn't the smart contract, the blockchain with Ethereum 2.0, they changed it based on safety. Previously it was proof of work, now it's proof of stake. And they
Mhm.
changed most of the Ethereum 2.0, they changed it based on security. So there are a lot of changes that I think Ethereum 2.0 has done to make it more secure in terms of coding. And I'm trying to code that side too. So, but yeah, there's a lot of safety done, especially with Ethereum 2.0.
And that's why I like a Cardano, because they got all those problems that they identified in Ethereum and Ethereum 2.0 and moved to Cardano. So, you know.
Yeah,
No, but
yeah.
it seems like most people still refuse to leave Ethereum though. I saw a stat where like 80% of DApps are still in Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There's Neo and
And
EOS.
and and I'm gonna tell you my personal holdings. I have a large stake in Bitwise, which is holds 80 something percent in Bitcoin and the rest in Ethereum. Because the whiplash I was experiencing was too much for me. So I just took the ETF when it came into power. So yeah,
Well, like I said, what I want to do is provide
I'm
people with the resources, right? So that they can actually dig deep into this and get the information to make the right decisions, right?
Mhm.
So these resources that I'm providing here, you can start with the link that's in the description for Crypto Slate. Go and select your various, coins that are, operating within the cannabis crypto sector. From there, you can dig in, view the blockchains, go to the websites, get the white papers. Everything is there for you to make your informed decisions. Follow their Twitter, see what they're doing to try to address like future growth. It's all here. See, I think really what we're trying to do, and maybe Mike can chime in, or maybe this is a good time for Mike to come in. As much like the IT certifications and everything else, we want to try to give the nuts and bolts, like right here, right? Now, as you can see, there's various coins, various ecosystems, various use cases, right? It really just depends on one, what your angle is, two, what part of the industry that coin serves. We started with Paragon back in 2017, right?
Mhm.
And it was on the ERC20, and so it was basically a seed to sale ecosystem. Okay, and we just toyed around with it because it was there and it was something for us to get our hands dirty with. But we're starting to see now what's taking shape here in the blockchain and the crypto sector, and now as maybe perhaps potential investors, you might be looking at the whole sort of bull side of things that's going on with Bitcoin and everything else. Listen, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm an industry specific type of guy, right? So I'm not going to try to be the master on understanding what's what. But if I understand cannabis, if I understand that industry, and I understand that there is a crypto application that does serve full scale ecosystem, I'm gonna take a listen and I'm gonna take a look based on what I understand about the cannabis industry and its use and application. Mike, you got any on it, bro? Got anything on it?
No, I think you've covered it. The music's a little bit loud, but
Hold on 1 second. Let me take it
yeah.
down a little bit.
I was rolling a spliff as I hear the music.
Yeah, you got a spliffy. Go ahead, Mike. You got it.
No, I think you've covered it pretty well. This is probably one of the best times to start to build up investments into fintech, right? So traditional banks are not really lending out for cannabis-based businesses. You got to go about it in an alternative way. And, what better way than to create a fintech now by writing code, right? And that's really what a fintech is, really a coded bank, right?
Mhm.
Coded financial institution. And so this is important if you're going to get into this aspect, because you're going to start moving dollars, paper dollars around. That's not going to be the the norm going forward after 2021. That's not going to be the norm. Everything's going to be digital currencies in terms of this aspect. And you also got to look at the agricultural aspect or the agri-tech aspect behind this. You know, how can you leverage agricultural technology with the digital currencies, with the cultivation of cannabis itself. So
Mhm.
these are all aspects that are going to be industrialized or part of the industrialization of this market.
I just had a generalized question for the group, the panel, for the people who's watching. Do they understand what a smart contract is? Because I think we assume a lot that people have the ability to understand what's going on, because it's a lot of new technology, and I think I may be wrong, and I probably am wrong, complex, but a lot of people from Bernard's meeting today, they had no idea of what's going on and what's the different ramifications of coins and what smart contracts are and things like that.
They
So
should they should subscribe to the Black Brain Trust and then start digging through the archives.
But
yeah,
do
but
you, do you really want to learn it, or do you just
yeah,
want to get a profit? That's
that's
the
what I'm.
question.
Thank you, engineering company.
Do
You
you
got
want to learn it? Do you want the profit? So
yeah. Like we understand what I'm talking about. He understands what I'm talking about because
Well,
now I'm
ask Mike what he thinks about that notion.
okay. Mike, what do you think about that? Hey, I just Mike.
What was the question? I
Yeah,
can't hear because
Hold
everybody's.
on, oh, my bad. Hold on. I
It's
think.
not the music; it's everybody's just talking over each other.
Oh, okay, my bad. Go ahead, you got it. Back torch.
no, I was just saying. I was because I was shocked at today's meeting with Bernard Riley and Lindell because I thought that a lot of people, I took it for granted that a lot of people knew what was going on,
Mhm.
and as I'm going through the one-on-one stream with people on that, they had no idea what crypto is, had no idea what a smart contract is, what the altcoins are, and things like that. And I think the Lendo's channel, as you know, was pulled, and
Oh,
all his
Lionel.
archive. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm I'm from Brooklyn. We butchers everybody's name, but we I always go to his channel. You know, he knows I speak to him all the time, and I'm just saying we needed to. I think there's a fundamental disconnect of what's going on and people's understanding of what's going on. A lot of people just think you can get rich quick scheme, which they covered today. And I think that's not really what's going on. It's more like the government gave you free land, what was it, of 1860 something, and you run out there and you stake your claim, and then you did not benefit, but people in your generation benefited from that. And I think that's what's going on now, but people don't get that sense because
Is there a question to this?
no, I'm just giving a general speaking. Sorry, Mike, if you thought
no, my
I was
question is,
clarifying.
Mike, is why are people more interested in the profit, where the profit is more interested in put investment in rather than knowing what's behind the curtain, what's behind the Bitcoin. People are
Because
more interested in let me get a quick grab rather than focus on what's behind.
because
Because people who are
black culture is based on a hustle, right? A hustle is nothing more than a business without ethics and following the basic processes, right? And so everybody's just interested in the one stop thing. They don't think about there's no 5 year, 10 year, 15, 20 year plan when it comes to black culture, right? Everything's about instant gratification. And so the instant gratification with Bitcoin is it's surging at $30,000, $40,000. How do I get in? Right.
Right.
The idea isn't how do you get into Bitcoin, but how do you create a literacy and understanding of the technology itself, right? The underlying technology. a lot of people claim to be capitalists, but they don't have the understanding of economics at the ground level. And so that's why you see a lot of people so anxious to get in on a quick flip. Bitcoin's not about a quick flip. Bitcoin is a hodl. It's hodl, right? We hold.
Well, it's more than that. If you understand the technology and what you want to get out of it, it can be quite rewarding.
You can create your own coin.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But if you don't understand the underlying, and that's what I was trying to tell people, because everybody said, "Oh, how can I get a hold of this? I can't afford a individual coin." This was in Bernard Riley thing. I said, "You don't have
That's
to
a
do
problem. That's a
And the
problem.
funny thing, the source code, I just saw the source code is written there for you. The source code for the Bitcoin is written there for you. You can take
Yeah,
it
but
and
they
use.
don't get it.
This isn't about the source code. This is about basic literacy
The
of
literacy, right?
And that's
technology,
what I'm trying to tell them. But
not just
I'm going
Bitcoin.
over that. I'm going over that whole thing of like this. I'm saying you got to understand what is your overall strategy. What do you want to do with this? Because you can have the source code and have no idea what it's used for, and it's useless to you. You know, you can create. There's thousands of coins, but if they don't have an underlying structure behind the coin, they are useless.
Yeah, but people get robbed in this market every day. Their wallets get hacked.
Well, you know what? Because they go in and show like, oh yeah, I made this many bitcoins today. What do you think is going to happen?
Well,
It's okay.
Bitcoin is not even a conversation that these people should even be having, right? If you put up a $2 super chat, Bitcoin is the last thing you should be worried about. Right?
Well,
I just
and
don't think
that's
that's
why,
part of
and that's why today I told them the best thing for you guys is to do the ETF, and then
no, Robinhood.
Lindell.
You can download Robinhood to your phone and
There you
start.
go.
No,
That's
but Robinhood, but it's only giving you a fractionals. Okay, the
No,
reason
you
why,
could buy no. You could buy a whole or fractionals. Hey, Mike, hold
yeah,
it down.
but
I'll be right
okay,
back, dude. Hold it down.
okay. Listen, how many of these guys got $40,000 to buy one share or one coin? They don't. So what are they going to do is fractional. I'm trying to tell them what is the most logical things than buying an ETF, the ETF that it has a position in those things that you can sell and trade instantly. But
But the question, the biggest trend is people that are making money are the people who are inventing these things. People who are making huge gains and profits are people who are using this to invent and
well,
increase
yeah,
technology
but
and
we know,
5G tech and all
but
that.
that's it.
So
Okay, but we know that's the same thing with internet technology. The guys who invented the things are the ones who make the biggest profit. The guys who come in afterwards, they get what they can get, and they use this to their own advantage. You know that. Come on. Microsoft didn't invent DOS. It was Digital Research that invented DOS. Microsoft has profited from it.
Mike said it, agri-tech, fintech, they use blockchain to make, and people take ideas from this,
Yeah.
make millions. Kids make millions, string up a code, make millions on storing data for fintech companies, extracting data for fintech companies, and then giving them their data back and telling them this is what you did wrong. And the fintech company pay them millions for that. So why aren't we doing that? Why is it when
I'm
I
not
open
saying I'm that, and I agree with you. I'm just saying we got to come up with a strategy. We got to come up with a plan, and we can do it. I'm not a developer. I'm a security person. I go in there and I tell you what the fuck is wrong with your shit. I go in there and look and say, what is the vulnerabilities? I do a threat model. I do all these things. I do the binary scanning, the static code analysis, and the pen test against your code to make sure that it can't be breached.
You're gonna have to
I'm
be
not a developer.
multi-talented. You're gonna have to be multi-talented in that aspect. Black Torch. I mean, the new report that came out the other day about cybersecurity people, they said application development is the number one thing going forward for
But that's
2021.
what I do today. I do that now.
Yeah, I'm saying in reference to what engineering cannabis is saying. I think
Yeah.
I think the idea is that there's a misunderstanding of what we should be doing with the cryptos, right? The idea is everybody's coming in, I guess, from that other channel saying, "Oh, well, how do I get in? How do I get a quick flip?" But this isn't
Yeah.
about a quick flip; it's a long hold. It's the hodl, and so you have to get them to understand basic financial literacy. Bull markets,
Well,
bear markets,
well,
of that nature. They don't even understand the difference between the bear and the bull.
exactly, and if you want to get them to that basic understanding, and that's what the point I was trying to tell you,
Mhm.
you got to become now. You got to come into what you call a basic literacy for financial literacy, where they don't teach kids today. They don't teach. You got to go to even in college. They don't teach these kids this thing.
Well, it's
So you got, huh?
no, go right ahead.
No, they don't even teach these things today. If we want to come up with a channel that comes up with these things, yeah, we can teach these things, but I can teach them how to make your wallet safe, your
Mhm.
cold wallet versus hot wallet versus warm wallet. I can tell you all on how to use multi-factor authentication versus you leaving it in the actual exchanges wallets, because some exchanges force you to keep it there. I'm
Right.
just trying to tell you is that I no man and no one can be everything for everyone.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. I know my area, my expertise, the expertise I like. Engineering Cannabis can tell you how the thing works from a AI perspective. I look at it a different thing, and I think we work together to come up with an overall solution. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So right. So now you're talking about a micro fintech investment firm, right? So now you're talking about collectivizing the small pennies on the dollar to actually invest into these slices or these fractional shares of cryptocurrencies. That
Yeah, because that's where the money's at.
yeah, that can be done, but then you have to pair it. It also has to be paired up with something else because it can't. Because now you have to abide by all of the regulations, financial regulations, because you're holding people's currencies, you're holding people's dollars and whatnot. So, it,
Okay. And that's what it is. We have to pick the actual solution that we're going to take. XRP, which
Mhm,
is a pariah now, has been used mostly for and Stellar, which has not been a pariah. It's been used for transferring money back and forth from one entity to another. So
mhm.
they do settlements, as they call it, and it's like a replacement for Swift. That is one thing. Cardano, XRP, and some forms of Bitcoin can be used for smart contracts, but you got to do a hack for the Bitcoin. Most people use Bitcoin for stored value. I'm just trying to tell you is that for what we need to do and for the education, do we want to educate people or do we want to build a system where we can make money off? And that's all I'm trying to say.
So
I'll,
you're
s-
thinking, yeah, go ahead, engineer.
so I'll say this: the banks have two. The reason the banks make so much money are based on two reasons: the money and the data coming out from that money. The data will tell you how the market goes, how the market shifts, how before anybody knows this stuff. The data
Hmm.
alone from transactions can tell you where everything is shifting to. They know
This
this.
is this is
They
why that
have
block this is why that blockchain ledger is key.
they
You
have
can
that
see it in
power.
real
Yeah.
time.
So they have that power to know how transactions, how the whole world will shift based on certain transactions. They have that power. They've been having that power for decades. So again,
Hmm.
now a technology comes in that's probably going to shift that power to the masses. That's kind of fearsome, but again, you should know that the biggest power the banks have is not only the money, but the data coming from that money.
I agree.
That is
I'm
the
not.
biggest power,
Hold
and
on.
that's
Who's
that's
that
what we
other
need to
person that
teach,
joined? Just somebody joined. I don't see their name.
and that's what we.
No, wait, nobody joined.
Yeah, there's some fifth person there.
Yeah, that's Jay.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I didn't see no name there.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Jay was the one I was talking about. ERC 20.
And
Okay.
that's what needs to be taught, that the power is not only in the money but the data that comes out from that. the
Engineering
story
Cameron,
tells. So
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come to you and we're gonna talk because I have ideas of what I think for agriculture and aquaculture, and I think that that's what really needed. And I think
yeah,
that
no, I will start playing with some automated system to automate all that.
yeah, because I can do the things with adrenos and all these other things
Yeah,
for the AI and vertical and with aquaculture.
I already have
Uh,
a program to automate. I was playing with a program
well,
with
see, that's why
automated.
we need to come together, brother.
Don't worry,
You know,
I got a lot to come together with a lot of people. Don't
Hey,
worry.
yeah, we
yeah,
got. I'm saying you got to put it. You got to put it on the put it on the
Yeah.
whiteboard. Get with us. You know, I actually, I'm getting with anti-grav a little later. We want to try to get this business summit together, similar to the IT summits that Mike V sparked off. It's in the same vein, essentially.
yeah.
You know, we want to move in that direction, start linking brothers up who got companies, who got businesses.
Hey,
So, you know, we can start getting movement and application, right? The IT summits was about getting certs, right? Business summits are about now applying what we know, what certifications, whatever you have, right? And then applying it, putting it in application, putting it in use. Right. So I'm working on the outline for that right now. Key things to, to have, depending on like the type of venue or industry that you're going to be operating in. We're gonna try to make this comprehensive. I'm gonna aim for probably like April or May on this
yeah.
one.
By then, I should get my first COVID shot. They finally told us where we can go and get it, so I'm gonna try to get in line to get my first shot. So you know,
So I mean, so that's where we,
Mike B, I'll be up by your way. I mean, we need to hook up.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what we're on with this, man, because it's movement across the board, man. This is what's going down right about now.
Yeah, I think like I said, there's a bigger application behind all of this.
Mhm.
Like I said, the legalization of cannabis, marijuana, the fintech aspect, the blockchain aspect. These are all applications that revolve around fourth industrialization. And we still have to go back now to just to ground the basics of what is fourth industrialization, because a lot of people still don't understand that. And so
Mhm.
that's where we are right now in terms of these conversations. You can't have a conversation about Bitcoin to people who can't even write a basic sentence in the chat, and you're going to. This is
You didn't go there. Come on,
God
Mike.
damn.
no,
Come
but
on,
this is
Mike.
fundamentally this big gap of knowledge. Basic financial literacy, technology literacy, industrialization,
I,
agriculture. I mean, Complex has posted videos on his channel walking around his garden and things like that. People look
Yep.
at that. What is that? That's boring.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's the boring stuff that's
That makes money. It's the boring stuff that counts in this world.
that's the important stuff that's
That's
going to
important
matter.
stuff.
It's
Right.
the foundation. The foundation is always
And,
going to
and
be.
hold on. We got a guy in the chat say, "Don't do it." Vaccination. We went through this channel 0. We're not going to go over that. If I don't
Well,
tell you what to do, please don't tell me
well,
what to
let's
do.
yeah, let's keep that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should
Go ahead,
be-
Mike. You got it, man. Go ahead, man.
we shouldn't focus
Asshole.
on that.
Hello.
I think even something as basic as like raised garden beds, right? And just starting from there from an agricultural standpoint, getting your hands really dirty, right? Getting into the dirt and turning soil over and actually planting, basic
It's
agriculture.
called plant science. Yes, they don't understand that. My sister. I live in Brooklyn. We have plants growing on the windowsills.
Yeah.
In my backyard, we got what do you call it? Peppers, figs, all these things. People say, "How do you grow figs in Brooklyn?" I say, "Hey, you can do it. Peaches grow in Brooklyn. If you just gotta know what zone you're in, and then you can do these things. But you can't. You gotta understand. They gotta be a willingness to learn, Mike. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And a lot of times, we're talking to ourselves. We're talking to ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not uncommon. I mean, look at me, people in the chat. I think that the conversation has to start from the foundational aspect instead of trying to teach people how to flip Bitcoin and things like that. That's a conversation that most of these people, 99% of them, are not going to be able to invest in. And so you have to meet them where they are. People putting up, $2 stickers and stuff like that. Like, yeah, Bitcoin is not a conversation for you, bro. Like, that's not for you, man.
Well, when I try to explain cryptocurrencies to people, I'm telling them like this.
Mhm.
I made a mistake and try to say, "Oh, you got to do dollar cost averaging." They asked me what was that. I said, "Hold on, you don't even understand what dollar cost averaging is." So I said, "Do you have any stocks?" He said, "No." So I said, "Then why are you trying to jump into something you have no idea what you're talking about?" "Oh, I heard about it, and this is why." I said, "No, you don't jump into things that you have no background in. That's where you get taken, but you got to understand." I said, "You have a better chance than just getting into drips, direct reinvestment programs than you do, and you can do the same thing, but it's a whole financial literacy thing that I think that our my generation, generations before and after have not given kids that ability to learn about how to get their money together. You know,
Yeah, that's not really our concern at this point. Go ahead, Complex.
Yeah, no, I was gonna get with this
but
this
it is
new.
our concern. I disagree. You know why it's a
Right.
concern? Because they keep coming with us with the same fucking questions.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do, right? Like we're already what 3.5, close to 4 years in on this channel. We can't go back to 2018, 2017 to
I
rehash a
know.
conversation. I'm saying we have to work with people who are willing to work with us on that level. That's all.
Agreed. But
Yeah.
what if you have, and I guess, and that's what complex idea was, to keep those things available for people who just. What if the 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds weren't available to them, and now they says, "Oh, we want to learn about this."
Mhm.
Are we going to not ch- educate them? Or are we going to say, "Oh, go look in these archives," and then you have to scroll through all these archives? I'm just trying to
Well,
say,
no, what I'm actually still in the process of finishing up getting everything in playlist.
yeah,
Right. The whole plan was to have the playlist going 24/7. And in a minute, I'm gonna step away for just a quick second.
no,
Can this,
and
but
Mike
no,
B, I'm not
the whole
attacking
point,
you.
the whole no, it's not an attack. The whole point though is that the idea was to section everything up, right? Because we're almost looking at like this is like a phase, right? So
Right.
like we said, there was a phase where it was more instructional. Now we want to move into this application phase. So with the instructional phase, I could still go in, categorize, get everything together. Geopolitics, put that into a playlist. Economics, put that into a playlist, because everything will ride in succession from the time we started. It goes all the way on through, and then it connects on up until today. it,
And and
the
and Mike,
fact of the fact of the matter is that with everything that's already been done up until this point, that's the only thing we can do. We, like what Mike just said, we got to move forward.
right, and this is what I'm trying to say, Mike. Uh, I'm just saying, I people have contacted me via email and said, "Oh, could you explain this to me?" And I explained it to them.
Mhm.
And that's what I do, because I don't want them to go out there and say, "No, because it's like this. I know better. You know better."
Yeah, I'll be
And
right back,
and
though.
and
I'll be
when,
right back.
okay, no.
Okay.
And when somebody asks me a question, I'm going to answer them and say, I can say, oh, go look at this thing. But if they ask me questions, I want to say, if I tell them this, I want to also tell them, okay, go look at this stream. But if you have any questions, come back. And they always come back and ask me, but what does this really mean? And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, I don't mind doing this and helping people out. I don't,
Mhm.
because I feel that because I get a bunch of new guys every year, and they got all these certificates, and you find out they don't know shit. And you know what I'm talking about.
Of course. But
So therefore, I'm the senior person, and I gotta help them do this shit. So, and I see I see these black kids, and when they ask me questions, oh, what does this mean? And I said, well, and I try to gauge from them what their knowledge is, and then I help them out. That's all. And
Mhm.
you're looking at it from because you're seeing it. You've been on the black brain trust longer than me. I'm just new to this thing, but I just try to help people out because nobody was there to help me. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, I'm just
Well,
acknowledging you're right.
yeah, before you got here, Lionel had a whole entire boot camp for Bitcoin and blockchain.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But they removed all his shit. Okay, they removed his
No,
thing.
now they've removed it. There's nothing saying that he
Yeah,
can't go back through the Black Brain Trust archive and go back through that.
yeah.
I mean, that's already been
But
we've
a
already been
question
done
to
that
you
for.
is: how
Yeah.
many kids, how many newcomers know, or people who didn't learn that? Oh, there is something that Lionel did.
Well, that's what Complex is getting together right now. I mean,
Yeah, and
it,
that's all I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, like people ask me all the time, "Oh, why do you do security?" And I told them, security, it's been for me been the best spot to be in the IT realm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I explained why. I said because human nature is still fucked up. They will do Programmers are still the laziest motherfuckers you want to see. you know, and the things and human nature is still the same thing. So I tell them that's what I recommend, but you know, that's
Mhm.
just me, you know. And you and security also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. How many times I do a binary scan, a static code analysis, I say, you still doing this shit?
Well,
You know?
that's just a creature of habit in terms of development. But on this channel, I think we can't keep allowing people to reset the conversation because they just
Oh
didn't know.
no, I agree.
And
And
so
that's
for
not
me,
what I'm saying.
yeah, and so for me, the work has already been done. For us, I should be saying the work has already been done, and so the conversation now is more about implementation and development at this point, at this standpoint. 2021. This isn't 2017, 2016 anymore. So people are going to have to, really follow Lionel. Subscribe to his channel and have him go through the foundational principles and getting people up together because that's kind of his thing. That's why he had his own channel, was to do that. He did it first on here
Right.
and now he to do it on his own channel.
Agreed.
So
I
he needs
Yeah,
totally
he's been
agree.
doing it for so long
yeah.
that he's got a better grasp of the industry as an entirety.
Yeah.
He's been reporting on it for so long. That's the thing, So it's kind of like we have see my issue with this, and this is kind of where I get real firm, is that it's not as if the information hasn't been put out here, man. We're on episode 625.
Yeah, I know. And I joined at
625, man.
about 400, so I missed all those. That's
So
what
I'm
I'm saying.
I'm just saying, man. At a certain point, it's like, what? Why are we gonna keep repeating shit?
Yeah, because I do it all the time on my job. Yeah, I have guys asking me the same question 10, 15 times.
Yeah.
So I'm used to regurgitating the same thing over and over until they finally get it because it's by
Man,
rote.
I'm gonna tell you like
You
this,
get
man. I don't have. I mean, I understand what it is that we were undertaking doing this, but shit, it's just like Mike said, man. It's 2021, man. Can't do it no more. Can't do
No,
it.
I'm not saying you guys are supposed to do it. I'm just saying I'm used to doing it, so
Oh
I
yeah.
give them more leeway than you guys do it. I'm not.
We gave him what, 3 years, Mike? 3 years of leeway.
And Mike, you know, at your job, the guys ask you the same question 10, 15 times. You just used to answering them,
But
but that's how it is.
yeah, well, we don't really have that issue per se, but I understand what you're saying. I just think that in this space where people consume, you know, content that is not productive, you know,
Right.
that's not our fault and that's not our
Oh,
responsibility to bring them up to speed. So,
oh,
like
you
those,
went there with the non-productive one.
well, that's, I mean, I don't know what, you know, what's going on, what else is going on in the space. I don't see
I
anybody having
mean,
these
you
conversations
find
about.
We know
yourself
what's going on.
you
I mean,
find
We
we
know
were
yourself
what's
in
going
2021 asking these questions,
on.
these
Yeah.
silly questions about Bitcoin. I mean, hey, what am I supposed to take away from that?
Yeah, we were having conversations about guerrilla farming a couple of years ago. Okay, guerrilla farming. People didn't even know what guerrilla farming was, right? They were
Well,
just, what guerrilla farming? What do you mean turn
well,
a vacant lot into a urban farm? What do you mean the Urban Farming Institute, a black-owned institute that gives you a
yeah,
certificate in urban farming and agriculture? Like, what is all this stuff? Like, yeah, if
yeah.
you consume content about colorism, then yeah, you're not going to.
See, I was trying not to go there. Don't. I was trying not to go there.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
No,
can't keep
I
having.
listen. I'm 2021. I'm trying to be that, not that guy who
Mhm,
bring up that shit, because
mhm.
as you've seen in the other thing, they went back to regular programming,
Regularly
and I'm
scheduled programming, they
yeah,
did.
and I'm
Oh
trying not
man.
to do that.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
was. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No. I'm just saying that that we can't. We even wasting time even having the conversation at this point. Like,
Yeah, I agree. So, like I was okay. So let's skip on. I see engineering cannabis left, but I need to hook up with him. Like I
mhm.
said, and Mike, when I'm up in, because I'm supposed to go to University of Rhode Island to go up there for a seminar if they have it. I don't know if they're going to have it because of what's going on, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, like I said, it's interesting. Um, I'm just used to being the teacher, of helping people out. So I guess I'm not. I'm still used to helping people out when they need something. So
No,
you know.
and I would say that we're doing the same, but we have objectives as well. I want to get to the strain review because I want to try to wrap this one up because we're going to try to get a car chat cracking here with the next hour here.
What you said, car?
Yeah, we're gonna do a black car talk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Mike shot through some crazy stuff, man, and
All right.
we got to
That's
talk
not
about it.
me. Yeah, yeah. Good luck, guys. That's not me.
No,
I don't
yeah,
give a
we,
shit
we
about a
we
car.
good, man. But, we got to fire one up. But no, the strain that I went and picked up yesterday is a strain called Golden Gate. So it's a cross between Golden Goat or Funky Bitch. Okay, I didn't know they called it that. I've heard of Golden Goat and Very Berry Kush, which is Berry Kush, and I forgot what the other one is. The cross between these two, but these two created Golden Gate, and so the strain lineage basically originates from these places right here, right? So all of the genetics in this plant are comprised of landrace strains that come from Afghanistan, Brazil, Colombia, India, Mexico, Nepal, the
Hmm.
U.S., and Thailand. Okay, that's how much like hybridization that has gone on in a lot of like the modern day strains, right?
Yeah.
So this is essentially the typical 50-50 hybrid. That's usually what you're going to find mostly on the markets nowadays because people don't like to lean one too much one way or the other.
Hmm.
You know what I mean in terms of like physical physical effect versus psychological effect, right? So 50-50 kind of gives you that median. And that's typically what people like to do. So what's happened here in the last 4, 5, 6 years or so is the kind of like the onset of designer strains, as they call them, right? So giving you that 50-50 effect, but then giving you all of the secondary and tertiary effects, like the terpenes and all that kind of stuff, which we're going to go over here in a minute. But just the secondary effects, right? Like median, you're not going to get too much one way or the other, but it's all going to be about scent, taste, and all that kind of stuff.
Is it since it has all those different characteristics? What is the growing zone that you can do grow it in?
Well, I mean, all this stuff is all like domestic, grow house. So
Okay,
typical,
so
typical 50-50 is you're probably looking at about 8 to 10 week
5,
flower time, and it's typical stuff.
Okay.
This is how you trace the family tree, basically, right? So let's take a look here. For this strain, we're looking at Hawaiian sativa, California orange. These are all old school strains, right? This is kind of what gets you over here, right? So we've got some Afghani landrace, like I said, a lot of landrace from Afghanistan, Brazilian landrace, Indian landrace, Afghani landrace, Colombian. Now I have a ton of Mexican landrace seeds. This is my project for 2021, is to get some of these to crack. These things are like 30, 35 years old. So,
and do you know what zones they can be raised in, or is just
it's
hybrids?
the zone where I'm at. I'm in California, so these are just across the border.
Yeah, so
they're
that's
all they come from like Oaxaca.
Okay.
Oaxaca, Mexico. So yeah, the parentage on this is a lot of this stuff is like landrace, and then you start to see where where its lineage comes from the modern day strains. So like Northern Lights, for example, right? I can go into a dispensary and buy Northern Lights right now. White Widow. I can go and buy a White Widow right now. Okay. And so these strains right here created the White Rhino. And then when you cross Northern Lights or California Indica, you get Romulan. So that was a popular strain 15, 20 years ago. Right. Then you cross Romulan with Sweet Skunk. Okay.
These
and
names.
then you get Funky Bitch, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These names.
Yeah, this is where you funky. So here's how they'll get the names, right? So a skunk is funky smelling, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm not that much out of the thing, but I'm just laughing a bit.
Well, people wonder where the names come from, and so what they'll do is they'll combine names. So yeah, Blackberry Kush, and then Hashberry. So this is where you get Very Berry. Hashberry, Blackberry, you get Very Berry, and then you cross Golden Goat and Very Berry, and you get Golden Gate Kush, which is what I bought. Okay. So this really goes over like the lineage of how we get to the modern day strain here. So oftentimes, man, when you hear people go, the stuff's GMO and blah, 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 it's like, dude, where the hell you get this shit from?
Yeah, because they don't understand how plants work.
Well, you got to understand like the horticulture aspects of cannabis and know where your strain parentage comes from.
Right, and the growing zone, the hardiness of that.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, all the growing zones now, for the most part, are indoor. So it's the majority.
But you also got to keep them at a certain temperature, certain light, LED light.
Well, like I said,
we want to talk about that. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, for the most part, the majority. Okay, so that's going to be based on whether you're growing. If the plant is majority indica, majority sativa, or if it's in the middle. That's what's going to determine the length of a flowering light cycle. Okay, the reason why everybody kind of aims, you get what they call designer strains, which are largely just these 50-50 crosses, is because you can kind of standardize them. You can grow different strains under the same environment. Okay, once you start going like specific to a strain, that's where some are going to be 12 weeks flower, some will be 14, some might be 8, or in between, depending on what you want, what effects you want out of flower. When you flower cannabis, think about it kind of like an apple. If it's too ripe, it gets real soft.
Yeah, and becomes mushy. It becomes
So what you don't want is cannabis that's flowered too long, right? But then guess what you don't want? You don't want it where it has been flowered enough when you eat an apple and you bite into it, and what does it taste like?
it's too hard and it's like cardboard.
Right. So each strain is going to have like a period of time. Typically it's got like a 2-week period of flowering time. And usually what you want to try to aim for is to harvest during a full moon cycle.
Well, you know what that is. Why? You know what that is. That's a scientific method. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason it's tidal gravity. So water pulls upward,
exactly.
right? And so what you do is when the water's pulling upward, that's why you water heavily during that time. It's going to pull upward into the plant, and it's going to basically fill the buds more. You get more volume during that time.
See, you're a smart man. You understood that.
I've been growing weed. I've been growing weed for like 20 years.
I tell people that they look at me like, this is voodoo. I'm saying like, what the hell are you talking about?
Get a farmer's almanac, man. I mean, hell, is written by a brother.
You're speaking. These guys don't even know that. They don't even know that it's still being printed.
Yeah, man. This is how. Like I said, man, I've been growing this shit a long time, man. Okay, so with the Golden Gate strain, so what we do is, when we do like a strain review, you break down the terpenes. So this is how you go into a dispensary and determine what you need based on how you feel. Okay. There's a science to it. All right, so you're gonna have.
This is new to me. I don't know this, but
yeah.
So could you make that bigger so I can see it?
You can't see this?
It's
wait,
small.
hold on. Let me do it this way. All right, and then we'll go back to this one. All right, how about now?
Hold on, it takes a minute for it to change.
Yeah, it hasn't changed yet. I'm looking at it on the phone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see it now.
You can see it? All right, cool. Yeah. Okay, so there's gonna be like 6 basic terpenes, okay? And these are gonna be the things that translate directly into your endocannabinoid system, right? These are the kind of like the 6 sort of base compounds in cannabis that interact directly with your endocannabinoid system, right? Pinene, carotene, myrcene, limonene, limonene, and humulene. Okay. Now, we'll break down with each one, right? So pinene, for example, affects focus, memory, retention, elevated mood. Benefits: asthma, bronchitis, inflammation, stress. So these are typically going to be found in abundance in sativas. Okay, you're going to find more pinene typically in sativas. Sativas have what? A psychological effect. Okay, effects: focus, memory, retention, elevated mood, psychological effects. Okay, sativa deals with the mind. So pinene is going to be something that you would look for in a strain if you were dealing with things like depression, ADHD, things like that, right? Carotene effects. So no known physical effects. So these might be some of the more sedentary effects. I think that's the term. I'm trying to remember the term, right? So these are the effects you don't readily feel, right? But might deal more with like organ functioning. Right.
Your heart, your liver, things like that.
Right. Lymphatic system, stuff like that. Right.
Okay.
Benefits: pain relief, insomnia, antioxidant, inflammation. See there?
Yep.
So you don't actually feel the effects of the carophyllene terpene. Okay. I'm going to go through all these first, and then I'm going to show you how to identify all of them. Myrcene, relaxation, increases THC psychoactive effects. So what myrcene, this is the reason why oftentimes what you'll hear, and I'll even recommend it, if you're going to use CBD, the best way to really truly medicate is to even if you cannot really do THC in high concentrations, you need a little THC. Okay,
Well,
this
isn't
is
the THC the smoothing effect
what.
of
Well,
the?
say that again.
I said, isn't THC the smoothing effect that allows you to get the what you call those flavonoids or whatever into your system?
No, THC is psychological effect. CBD,
See, I'm sorry, CBD.
yeah, CBD.
See,
But
I don't, I never. I'm one of those people that are immune to that shit. It
no,
doesn't
you're good.
bother me.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But the thing is that myrcene actually is sort of like the glue between CBD and THC. So when something has a high concentration of myrcene, that means
Hmm.
that the CBD and THC will work well together.
Mm.
Okay. What are we getting from this? Antibacterial, antifungal, inflammation, antiseptic. Okay. Limonene, euphoria, and stress relief. Again, you're going to find this in a lot of sativas. A lot of sativas have like a citrusy taste and scent to them.
Hmm.
What you call it? Pineapple Express.
Ah.
Yeah, no, Pineapple Express. It smells like a bouquet of like oranges and mangoes and
Mm.
pineapple. Um, Acapulco Gold smells like lemons. What you call it? Jack Hair smells like limes.
Well, I told you I'm going to Africa as soon as I get my vaccine shots. Right?
When you go there, go get some.
No, I'm going to Portugal because
Mhm.
my girl's in Portugal, and then I'm heading to Senegal, Ghana, and Rwanda.
Yeah, see if you can scoop up some Durban poison while you're out there, man. Yeah.
I just don't want to be in the lockup in the African prison.
Let's see. You got linalool, so calming effects, sedative. So that's heavy. That's heavy indica right there.
All I know, I have relatives that have all those arthritis pains. Which one is good for that?
That's gonna be linalool, pain relief,
Yeah, Linol.
right?
Yeah, I think that's big.
Things that are anti-inflammatory,
Exactly.
myrcene,
Because
carophylline.
I tell my uncle to take turmeric and ginger all the time.
Yeah, I mean, all this, cannabis is it's the same thing. What you do, you're just isolating compounds, within it, but you have to identify the right strains that have the right compounds for the right effects that you're seeking. Humulene suppresses appetite, mood elevator. So again, this is a sativa.
Mhm.
You smoke sativas typically. It actually you don't really get hungry. Indicas are the ones that give you the munchies. Pain relief, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial.
Mm.
So these are going to be your 6 terpenes, right? That are
Could you
going to.
put that in the back chat so I can look at that list later on?
Let's see here.
Because I think it's only me and you. Everybody's bailed on us.
No, it's cool. There's that right there,
Mhm.
and
Sorry,
then
I'm still a nerd.
no, you're fine. Okay, and then so with each of these, how you know what's in. So here's how you identify like what's in what. It's largely by the scent and the taste. Okay,
Okay.
so piney is going to be so. For example, you go to a dispensary, right? And you go, I'm looking for something sativa-ish. I don't want to really, I'm not having like physical pain. I'm just kind of want to just get in a different headspace, right? So what they're
Mhm.
going to do is they're going to pull out different types of like sativa dominant or sativa strains. Okay, so what effects are we looking for? Focused, memory retention, elevated mood, euphoria, stress relief, right? These are that's what we're looking for. These two. So we're going to be trying to identify a pine type of scent and like a citrus or lemon type of scent. So that's where you do the sniff test. Okay. And this is what you want. You want some pine. You want something. And this is where you'll get like some lemon, orange, citrusy with some pine, and it'll have like maybe like a sharp sort of pine sol, like almost like a chemical bite to it. Okay. That might be what you want to go for. Okay. Now, with the strain that I got, the Golden Gate, this is more of a 50-50. So with this, we're looking more at like some carophyllene because it has a it has a very spicy and a woody taste to it. As well as a smell. It smells like it was in like an old cedar barrel, kind of, right? With some herbal. Right, with a little bit of herbal, okay, and some well, no, I don't want earthy. Well, we're gonna go with with sort of like the wood. I don't want to go here because this is more sativa, but I would say woody, and we got to go herbal and some citrus here, and even the cloves. So we're gonna go with these two, which is pretty much about a 50-50 right here. This strain might actually be a little indica dominant. I would say probably 60-40. Okay. So these are going to be the two primary terpenes in Golden Gate. And I would even say, yeah, you got to give it, again, a little bit of spice. That's what it is. I was thinking wood, but just spice.
Spice, you talking about a hint of pepper?
No, we're maybe like, maybe like pepper. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, black pepper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Black pepper. Right.
All
so
right,
we're gonna go linalool, myrcene, and caryophyllene. Right. So that makes up the terpene profile. So if you sniffed that herb, you're gonna get these three right here.
Okay.
Right, and that's how you know what it is that you're gonna get. That's how. This is how you. If you understand this, you'll never go wrong buying weed.
Okay. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've never bought weed.
No. I'm just saying this openly for anyone who's listening, right? Like, you follow this terpene chart. So, like, when you let's just say, like, even if you're at a party, let's say, oh, I got some herb, right? You can totally be a nerd if you understand this. You can sniff it. You can sniff it, and it's like wine tasting. It's like wine tasting.
Agreed, but the problem is, I've been with those wine tasters, but
it's no different. It's the same
you got to
thing.
have a point of reference, and I had no point of reference.
This is your point of reference right here. It's just like wine tasting, right? Herb is the same thing. Matter of fact, you can even pair herb with wine based on the terpene profile. That's another conversation.
Yeah, I'm just really a nerd.
No, that's fine. I mean, you got to understand. There's people listening though. And
then I'm on the. Don't take this, anybody in the chat. I'm on the other scale. I seen so many of my relatives fall curse to this thing that I immediately said I'm never going to do that. So don't. Yeah.
The problem. Here's the thing. The problem is that this is my problem, right? Lack of knowledge, right? If you possess a lack of knowledge about these things, then you'll carelessly do things, right? If you understand what it is, then you understand how to apply it.
Agree.
Okay, I'm all about knowledge and application, right? Like, so, and my fundamental issue is that this is something that we as a people have been using for thousands of years. So when I'm actually breaking down to you, do you see this diagram that's here on the screen right now?
Yeah, the 7 chakras. Yeah.
Right. So this is something we've understood in relation to cannabis for thousands upon thousands of years, but somehow in 2021 we're completely fucking ignorant. We have no idea how it all works.
And I'm just trying to tell people, don't take me as an example because I'm the worst. I don't
Well, I mean,
have any.
that's why we do these here, and
Yeah,
I explain it
because
like this, right? Because I'm a no nonsense type of person, to be honest with you.
mhm,
I, if I know that I can find a solution to something, or if I can
yeah,
learn something, then I don't
right.
want to spend a whole bunch of time like what's the point
Yeah,
if I just got the information, what I need to talk about it
and
for?
I'm the exact opposite. I need to understand why is that correct, and then I said, okay, I can logically understand why is that is, and that's all. That's me. It's just my personal thing. I just don't take anything for face value,
Yeah,
and I have to prove it and to myself. But I like I said, I'm the worst person. I fall to you, engineering cannabis, and all these people that know much more than me. I will back out of this immediately and say I do not know anything about this. You
well,
know.
it's an entirely new industry. Like this country hasn't even nationally legalized it yet,
He
right?
always says, one guy says, "You're not a nerd. You just happen to visit his neighbor's cannabis dealer." I said, "I said, yeah, I have it because
Yeah,
it,
and the funny thing is this, dude. Like, there's a grow house on every block, damn near. All right,
yeah." But the
somebody in
problem
your
is
neighbor's
that
growing weed, dude. So, yeah.
right, I mean, and the problem is I grew up in a time where I'm gonna say that word the that when they were locking motherfuckers up for just carrying a joint.
Yeah, yeah,
So I saw
I did too.
people around me just disappearing. They were one day you see them, the next day they don't. So so I just became so straight and narrow about that shit. You know,
Well, I grew up I grew up on the West Coast out here in LA, man, and shit. I had like,
well,
my pops came back from Vietnam. Him and his Vietnam buddies were smoking and shit. Like they used to get together and kick it on
mhm.
Saturdays and stuff. And I, playing records and stuff. And I was a music head, so I'd be sitting right there listening to records. Shit. I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, catching contact high and shit.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
what
But
and I have
that
no
was
problem with that.
but
The
this is the thing. It's like that's not a that's not like a rare experience for, especially like if you grew up out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, but see,
I
in
had
New York,
uncles. I
they were
had
locking people up like
Well, I
crazy.
mean, you say that as if I didn't have homies that
No,
like
no,
did.
no. I'm just saying
I mean,
because remember who were our mayor, Giuliani.
right.
I'm
And
trying
so
to
out
tell you that
here,
they were locking people up
you got to
wholesale.
remember, out here in LA, we had the war on drugs, right? You had the
Yeah,
Batarang, you had crack era, you had all that shit. I get it.
yeah.
I get it, right?
This.
But see, before all that shit, guess what our ancestors was using this shit for?
Oh yeah, I'm a come
Okay,
on.
so that's why I'm like, okay, well, so what do you want me to do about like
shit marijuana.
the modern construct of things that happen in the not
Shit.
so distant past, but has quickly changed and shifted to a time now where we need to quickly get up to
Re-
speed on
remember
what
that
we were
wait
originally
wait.
using it for.
Remember that what they showed us reefer madness. Remember that one? That
I mean,
that's what.
they showed you reefer madness, and we was growing it. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah,
what's
that's what I'm
funny.
saying. Because you were in, you gotta understand, California, the western states, y'all were Mendocino County, y'all were always in the forefront. I live on the East Coast where that shit was for Boynton. You know what I'm saying? It was not happening. And they locked
Yeah,
motherfuckers up for decades.
yeah.
For
Well,
even
that's the thing, though. We know this.
yeah, so no,
We
I'm
know
just
this.
trying to tell you. So growing up with that mindset, you see motherfuckers was here one day and says, "Yo, he in jail for 18 years." You say like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
So you
Look,
just
I had a
put that
homie.
shit in.
I had a homie that got caught up in some shit where he was in a car with a bunch of people, and there was a pound in the trunk. Cops popped him. Somehow he caught the rap for it, and it wasn't even his. It wasn't even his car. Car wasn't registered. He wasn't driving. Somehow he caught
Shit,
the
he's a
charge.
dummy.
But no, he's not a dummy. He got caught up because this was some LA shit. Guess who was overseeing policy at the whole time? Your girl Kamala Harris. But that's another subject. But see, it was Obama who actually pardoned my boy. Because see, he was a respected brother in the art scene out here in LA. So, bro, I get it. I get it.
But we had none of that in the East Coast.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But see, that's the challenge of the whole national legalization thing. And like I said, this is some shit we've already spoken to at length on I don't know how many live streams.
And I agree, and I apologize multiple times. I joined later than I joined
the reality is that we're on some blockchain shit. We're on cryptocurrency. We're on.
The other thing I want to understand about what is this COVID-19 you have there, because I didn't quite get that.
Wait, say that again.
Okay, we covered blockchain, we covered crypto, we covered strange review. What is the COVID-19? Which one is that one?
Well, there's a story I covered, and then if you look at not the last cannabis live stream, but maybe like the 2 or 3 prior other ones, they've already been doing research on the effectiveness of cannabis and hemp in either preventing contraction of COVID or being effective at treating symptoms of it.
Is that because of the glutathione that the NSA?
Is it because of what?
Glutathione.
Glutathione. No,
Yeah. Okay. It helps you with the respiratory. Okay.
No, we're talking about specific. We're talking about specific cannabinoid compounds. There's no glutathione.
Yeah, because that's when. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see the other live stream that you're talking.
Oh yeah,
about.
no, that's what I mean. We covered. Yeah, that 625.
I'm just saying. No, and again, I'm gonna shut up because I think that I come in with this novice approach. I'm just trying to.
It's just that like because of to get to the point where we're talking blockchain and crypto, to get to the point where we're talking entire blockchain ecosystems, right? To get to the point where we're talking hemp composites, when we get to the point where we're talking studies suggesting hemp and cannabis being effective at either preventing or treating symptoms, when we get to we get the majority of states having some sort of legalization measure, right? Like, so what happened to us as Black people? What we have to do is reconcile it and then get in the game. That's why if I sound short.
No, you're not sounding short. I feel stupid because like I things that I'm just coming up and saying, oh, well, what about this? So we'll be able to cover that. So I feel kind of stupid even bringing it up. But my professor always told me in school that there's no stupid answer and there's no stupid question.
There's no stupid. It's no stupid question. I guess
I continue to ask my questions, even though I know that I may be rebuffed.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
No, that's why. I'm being honest with you.
But that's what even at the beginning, right? I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna post this link to the cannabis talks that we started doing on the Business Wealth Power channel. So that's the channel that actually preceded the Brain Trust, right? To start there, to start talking where you can see where we already started digging into like leisure research and crypto ecosystems and all that kind of stuff, right? So that was like 3+ years ago. And so when we say like, oh, we already covered that, technically it's kind of because we did, right? And so what that tells us is that 3 years ago we already saw what is here now. And so then when we're like hearing the questions, we're like, okay, we addressed it already because now we're looking at the future and we're like, okay, much like what you were talking about on the Bernard stuff, how people are kind of novice in their understanding of the crypto game. It's kind of the same with cannabis in a lot of ways.
Right.
And see, my issue, I would say, and let me just say this, the Golden Gate strain, because I've had this chart up here, man. I kind of deviated, but I just want to touch it before I completely lose it.
I got no problem with you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just want to make sure I hit this right. So, given that we were just talking about the terpenes on that strain, we're going to be here with regards to pain relief, insomnia, inflammation, antifungal inflammation, antiseptic, stress relief, antidepressant, insomnia, and of that like.
Mhm.
This where it hits you, okay? Because this is how you actually feel cannabis. Okay, you actually feel it in your chakras. That's why people don't really understand like the how what the effect that it takes, right? Because it's actually it hits you through your endocannabinoid system, and there's the various points where you're gonna feel the effects. Okay, so for example, a lot of the inflammation when you're dealing with like pain relief, inflammation, the anti-inflammatory and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's
Mhm.
going to be your body chakras. Okay, typically that's going to be anywhere from your root to your heart, right? This is where indicas typically are going to hit you. Okay, your sativa is going to hit you in the throat and above, right? So your throat, your throat, pineal, and your crown, right up here.
Mhm.
Okay, 50/50s will give you here and like here. Okay, they'll give you here and up here. Okay, so based on the terpene profile and the effects that it gives you, you can start to see how where it's going to affect you. Okay, so this is how you relate the effects of cannabis and how you interpret the terpenes in it to determine the effects it's going to give you, where it's going to hit you in the body, right? Like I
Mhm.
said, sativas, psychoactive effects, that's going to be your throat and above. Indicas, typically your heart and below. And if they're crosses, it's going to give you some of this, some of this, and some of this, or some of this, and some of this,
Mhm.
and some of this. That's how you judge and gauge it, man.
Okay. Like I said, I never knew because, like I said, it was so. When I was growing up, I seen so many of my relatives fall victim, and I basically shunned that. And East Coast is different from West Coast. You guys were way ahead of us as far as that. So I will bow out and say like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with that. But
No, you're
I'm
you're
just
good. I'm the
no,
resident weed nerd here, so
yeah, and like I said, I know I know cryptography. I know security and building systems. That's all, and that's why I want to work with engineering cannabis on. Just trying to work on some things because I think it's not until people see us doing things will they understand the worth. And that's the thing. I deal with is when I'm dealing with new system administrators and things like that. When they see me do it, they say, "Oh, that's what it is?" I said, "Yeah." Sit down and go through it, and they ask me questions, and I said, "Yeah, that's how you do it." And then they
well,
look.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot to learn to this, man. There's a lot to learn to it. Like I said, California, we legalized in 1996.
yeah,
So,
and still in 2021, you can't get this shit in New York. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
well, that's why I'd be like, hey, man, I would
I got
say,
a cousin in Denver. He looks at me like I'm crazy. I said, like, yo, we can't. And they're so far ahead of us. That's the thing. They're so far ahead of us, and the business wise and the thing, and we just like, and I'm saying I'm trying to get together with some people to tell them about how to deal with the money aspect because that's the real thing. If you got a business in New Jersey or whatever, and you have all this raw cash, how ability to store, protect, and provide. You
that's
know,
like I said, man. Until there's a national mandate that allows for cryptocurrency transactions and all that, that's the stuff we were speaking to earlier. You're gonna have to deal basically with the state's mandates with regards to it, whatever that is. So
right.
you'd have to
and,
kind of
and
take it up with the commission with regards to it.
and that's the problem. New York is the biggest dog in the region. We got Connecticut, we got New Jersey, and we have Pennsylvania. And people drive every day or commute every day to New York City. They're used to driving every day. So in the day, pre-COVID, we used to get 30 million people in New York City. You know, that has changed now dramatically. But
I would say, you know, and I'm going to shut this down after this. I would say maybe consider a relocation to a more cannabis friendly state. That's my short answer.
I agree with that. But you know what? I'm so used to going out to get 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning tacos, and 3 in the morning dim sums. You know what I'm saying? Is this a point of being you
Hey
up
man,
late at night?
I'm used to getting, you know, like whatever variety of herb, you know, my heart fancies. But hey man, I'm gonna shut it down because I gotta go get dinner
Hey,
ready, fella.
cool. Like I said, thank you again for allowing me to be on your stream. Um, and everybody else, man, don't take me. You know, I'm just here spouting my own opinion. But you guys listen to Complex on this one.
And Engineering
Peace.
Cannabis and Mike V.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Hey man, take it easy. We'll be back a little bit. I mean, we're gonna do a car chat a little bit later. We're gonna spark one up, man. Talk whips. So y'all hit the like button, share this video with your fellow cannabis fanatics, and we'll see y'all in a